Hey, it's Terry, your yoga bestie, and got a great class for you today. We are closing out the chakras. We're going through our crown chakra today, which is why I'm wearing, we did our best. It's not white, it's not violet, lavender, it's kind of an in-between, so we'll call it works. We're not using any props in particular, but as always, if you have blocks or anything that you like to use, always recommend having it. But we'll start out in any position you like. So reclined, seated, child's pose, whatever's calling your name. And just make your way into that comfortable space, determining where you want your arms and legs to be. And we'll close our eyes as we start to tap into our ujjayi breath. So inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Letting go of any thoughts or worries so that we can prepare our mind for our practice. Our ujjayi breath is an audible breath, so we're gonna hear a snoring-like sound in the back of the throat, kind of like we're fogging up a mirror with our nose. So it's encouraged to hear your breath. It also serves as a great reminder when you can hear your breath. And we'll create a rhythm where we inhale to the count of 3 or 4 or 5 or even 6. Exhale the same or whatever feels right to you in the moment, because our breath will fluctuate throughout the practice anyway. And yeah, while you're tuning into that, I already mentioned we're talking about the crown chakra, which is located at the top of our head. It's associated with the element of thought or consciousness. Its themes are around trust and surrender and divine timing and something being connected to something that's greater than us. So whether that's the divine or the universe or God or whatever you see something greater as, that's what it is in association with. The crown chakra is about trust, not necessarily striving, but just trusting that it's going to happen. So you've done all the work and now you just sit back and trust instead of trying to control a situation. It's the gateway between effort and surrender. And we do our part like we do on the mats. We just show up on our mats and we don't worry about what the results are. The results are going to be what they are. So we just release the need to know what the outcome is and we show up and see what happens. And honestly, it's one of the hardest things, right? Just allowing ourselves to surrender and let it be. We don't get to pick the timing, we can't control, but there's also something really beautiful about that. The affirmation that I have for you that goes along with our crown chakra, our 7th chakra, is all I want and need comes to me in perfect timing. So we might inhale, all I want and need. Exhale, comes to me in perfect timing. And feel free to utilize that whenever you like. We'll refer to it throughout this practice. And on our next inhale, let's find some movement. So if we're on our backs, it can be a nice full body stretch. If we are seated, we might just find some rotations here. If we're in child's pose, maybe we walk our hands from side to side, or whatever else is calling your name. Just kind of seeing how your body is feeling in this moment. And then either from a reclined space or an upright seated position, we'll all bring our hands together at our heart center, our Anjali Mudra, as we set our intention for that practice. And maybe that intention is all I want and need comes to me in perfect timing, or maybe something else comes to mind that speaks to you in this moment. Please honor that. Let's take another big breath in here. Exhale, let it go. Yeah, and then when you're ready, we'll start to open the eyes. We'll bring in some movement, and let's make our way into our forward fold at the front of our mat. So no worries how you get there. It doesn't matter. It just matters that we do get there. And then find some space in between the feet, about hip distance apart or about 2 fists or wider. And you might reach for opposite elbows or bring the arms behind the back. You might walk your hands from side to side, just breathing into those side bodies. Full breath in. Exhale. And then we can start to toe heel our feet in towards one another. We'll roll all the way up to standing. And as soon as our head lifts, let's reach those arms up. We'll gaze up. And as we exhale, we're going to scissor the arms. We're going to left arm forward, right arm back as we twist towards the right. Gaze could be towards your thumb as we lengthen through the crown of the head. And then on our next inhale, arms reach, gaze can lift. Exhale, we twist the other direction. Right arm forward, left arm back. Maybe gazing at that thumb. Nice. Inhale, arms reach, gaze is up. Exhale, forward fold, so we can swan dive or bring the hands through heart center. And we'll inhale, lengthening halfway. Planting the palms, we'll keep the gaze forward as we step it back into our plank pose, super strong. Working that weight forward so we're not sitting near the heel of the hand, but towards the base of the fingers. And then as we exhale, we'll lower all the way onto our bellies. From our bellies, hands are underneath the shoulders, tops of the feet coming to the mat. As we inhale, lifting up cobra pose, and we'll exhale, lowering. And feel free to change up anything here. I like to come onto my fingertips in a wide stance and then bring in some shoulder dips. So if that sounds good to you, awesome. Yeah, and the next time that the forehead lowers, make your way into your first down dog. So we lift up those hips nice and high, starting to find some movement like bicycling the legs, or we might bend the knees as we move those hips from side to side. Full breath in. Exhale. And then on our inhale, shift it forward, plank pose. Exhale, lower, either the same as we did before, maybe we hover this time. Inhaling cobra or maybe up dog if you're ready. And we'll exhale into our down dog, lifting up those hips. Yeah, from that down dog, go ahead and lift up your right leg. We'll open up that hip, heel to behind, knee up towards the ceiling. Stay or start to make some circles going in one direction, going in the other direction. And then as we inhale, we'll straighten. Exhale, come into active pigeon. So we're gonna bring that right ankle over towards the left wrist, tucking those back toes under as we come onto our fingertips. We'll inhale, lifting. Exhale, coming forward. Elbows can come out to the sides. And just finding a little bit of a lift and lower here. Getting used to this position since it's pretty early on. Next time that we come forward, see if you can work that left hip crease down, breathing into this space. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. And then we'll push into the mat, lifting up. As we lean into that right side, we'll swing that left leg forward, and we're moving into boat pose. So you find your version. You could always have your toes onto the mat. You could always have a bend in the knees. Arms could be down or forward, wherever you like to be. And you can either stay right here, or maybe you lift and lower if you don't like to just hold a pose, right? So we can lower and lift here. We'll meet in this lifted boat pose. Right leg is gonna come underneath, and we're gonna go to the side of our mat as we come into a supported side plank. So that right knee is down, left arm reaches up. You could lift up that leg, you could reach the arm overhead. Or maybe you find a back bend here, reaching for that foot or ankle. It can push into the hand to create that space as we start to rotate our chest and gaze up. Big breath in. Exhale, we release or lift up that foot, and we're swinging that leg all the way to the back. We're swinging the right toes back at the same time. I'm gonna go ahead and bring my blocks with me to the back because we'll start to shift forward and back here from runners to a pyramid-like pose. So feel free to move at your pace. Feel free to linger anywhere. I like to lower my back knee down as I shift forward. And the next time that we shift it forward, hold it here, coming all the way up to our one-legged mountain. So we'll bring that right knee in towards our chest as we reach the arms up. Shoulders can drop down as we lift up through the gaze. Big breath here. And then as we exhale, step it back to your arrow lunge. So it's kind of like crescent pose with our torso in that 45 degrees. You can choose an arm variation you like. There's a lot of different options. Try not to grip your mat with those left toes, see if you can lift them up. Inhale. Exhale. And then on our inhale, we'll reach those arms up and then come into your exalted warrior. So we'll lean in towards the left side. Right arm is up, left arm is down. Inhale. As you exhale, cartwheel those hands down. Lower your back knee as if you're setting up for your one-legged tabletop position. But then we're gonna do these little chin stand-like push-ups. So we're gonna lower the chin down as the toes lift, and then we come up. We'll move through a few of these. After those 3, left leg comes behind and we move into cow face legs. So you can kind of wiggle into this space. You can always have a block underneath you. If you want to walk your hands forward, feel free to do so. Letting your head relax. Big breath in. Exhale. And then we'll make our way upright and we're spinning towards the left, coming right into our yogic squat here. So you can bring those hands to heart center, maybe use those elbows as leverage. If you're feeling like you want to maybe play already, you can always bring those hands down, lifting up the seat, maybe playing with your crow pose here. Totally optional. Big breath in. And then as we exhale, wide forward fold, let that go. Shake out the head, shake out the hips. And we'll step it back to our plank pose. Option to move through a vinyasa, or you can go right to your down dog, or we'll go to the left side. So left leg lifts, opening up that hip, heel to behind, knee up towards the ceiling. Stay here, start to make some circles. Going one way, going the other way. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bring it through for your active pigeon. So back toes are tucked, coming onto the fingertips as we inhale, lifting, and exhale, coming forward. And just move through this a little bit. Getting used to this on your left side. And next time we come forward, kind of sink into that right side, breathing space into that left hip. Big breath in. Exhale. And then we'll lift up, leaning into the left this time as we swing the right leg forward. And we're coming into that boat pose. So again, we can hold it here or we can lift and lower. We all make our way to lifted. Left is going to go underneath this time. We'll go to the opposite side of the mat as we come into our supported side plank, where we have all the different options that we can choose from. Full breath in here. Exhale. And then let's swing that right foot to the back, setting up for our runner's lunge. So if you already have blocks, you have them there already, so they're nice and set up for you as we start to shift forward and back for this side. Next time that we shift it forward, move into that one-legged mountain. So left knee draws in as we reach those arms up overhead, flexing through the foot, woo, maybe falling over, reaching up through the crown of the head. Inhale. Exhale, step it back, arrow lunge. So find your version. You can always switch it up. If you're feeling fancy, just one side is different than the other, whatever. Big breath in. Exhale. On our inhale, we lift up and we come right into that exalted. So right arm will come down as that left arm reaches up, leaning into that left side. Inhale. Exhale, cartwheel those hands down. Left knee lowers this time as we extend through the right leg, setting up for those chin stand like push-ups. So we lower and lift for 3, for 2, 1, and then right leg comes behind as we set up for those cow face legs, maybe coming forward, breathing into this space. Inhale. Exhale. And now we're spinning towards the right to come into our yogic squat. Hands to heart. Using those elbows to open up the hips here. We have those same options if you wanted to move into your crow. Otherwise, enjoy this hip opener as we take a big breath in. Exhale, wide forward fold, let it go. All right, we'll roll it all the way up to standing. Arms will reach up overhead as we inhale. Exhale, we'll twist to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, we twist left. Inhale, center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthening. Hands plant as we make our way through our vinyasa, or we go right to down dog from plank pose. Big breath in. Exhale, soften those knees, gaze forward as you step or float. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, forward. Let's reverse. We'll twist to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, we twist left. Inhale, center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we lengthen. Hands plant as we move all the way to our down dog, however you want to get there. Big breath in. Exhale. Softening those knees, we gaze forward as we step or float. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. One more of these will reverse. Exhale, we twist to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, we twist to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, forward fold. We lengthen halfway, and then hands plant as we make our way to our down dog or any resting position of choice, because that is our warm-up today. How we doing? Hope you're doing amazing. If you're new to my practice, we do two main sequences. So the warm-up takes place, or it brings in a lot of the poses that we put into the sequences. So you already have so much information that you didn't even realize then. And I break it up into what I call peanut butter and jelly. So they both are formatted the same. We move through it 3 times. First time's a little bit slower, maybe with some detours. And second and third time, the idea is to move more at breath pace, which means we repeat, so you can always skip. And then at the end, because we do that same variation for our peanut butter and then our jelly, we bring them together for one long, delicious peanut butter and jelly sequence sandwich, which is my favorite part of the practice because it's amazing and it's the end. So, you know. Anyway, so let's get started. We'll start out in our child's pose. Or not, no, we won't. We'll start out in down dog. As we make our way there, let's inhale, all I want and need. Exhale, comes to me in perfect timing. All I want and need comes to me in perfect timing. So we'll inhale, reaching that right leg up. As we exhale, we bring it through for our active pigeon. And we'll inhale, coming onto those fingertips. Exhale, bring it forward. Hold it here for a nice full breath in. Exhale. And then we lift, leaning into the right as we swing the back leg forward for our boat pose. So we can hold or we can lift and lower for 3, 2, 1. Right leg underneath as we come into that supported side plank. Maybe we lift, maybe we find that back bend. So figure out your variation here. Inhale. Exhale, we can release or lift up the foot because we're swinging it to the back. And this is where it's going to change. We still bring those right toes back, but we're coming into warrior 2 legs as we inhale, coming all the way up into our reverse warrior. So keep softening that forward knee as you reach back. Super strong and straight back leg. Inhale. And then on our exhale, we move into our half moon. So maybe you have your block or a prop there for you. Flexing through that right foot. Big breath in. And then on our exhale, we're bringing our feet together, chair pose, but twisted chair. So hands come together and we twist towards the left. So we can stay right here, or we might lift up those heels, testing our balance, truly. Or maybe bring those hands down, kind of walking to the side. Can also come into an arm balance if you want to come into a side crow. So I'm going to face you, pretend I'm facing the back. So you could shelve with your fingers facing all the same direction to the side or the same direction as your knees, and maybe lift up those legs coming into your side crow. Since we are doing the crown chakra, an option could be to take it from your side crow into your tripod headstand. Now, one thing about this is that there is momentum involved. So as soon as your head lowers, your butt has to lift. If you don't do that, you'll feel a little stuck. So what I mean by that is as soon as you start to bring that head down, bring your seat up and then lift up through the legs. If you don't do that, so if I'm doing this and I don't bring my butt up right away, this feels really heavy and honestly nearly impossible. So as soon as that head lowers, butt lifts. And it's optional. So if it's not working for you today, all good. And guess what? If you're still in a twisted chair, you probably are like a rock star. I think that's what it is. But we'll find our forward fold with the back of our mat. And then let's roll it up. Arms reach up and back. Exhale forward. Inhale and lengthen. Hands plant. Option to take that vinyasa or go right to down dog. From your down dog, left leg lifts. We'll bring it through for that active pigeon. So we inhale, lifting up onto the fingertips. Exhale, come forward, hold it here. Try to lean into that right side. Big breath in. Exhale. And then we'll lift, leaning into the right as we swing that right leg all the way forward, coming into our boat pose, where we can hold or we can lift and lower for 3, for 2, and 1. This time, left leg comes underneath. Come to the side of our mat, so it'll be the same since we turned around, finding your version of your supported side plank. Maybe it has a back bend in it. And then we release as we swing that foot to the front. Now moving into those warrior 2-like legs so that we come right into our reverse warrior, reaching up and over, breathing into that side. Big breath in. On our exhale, moving into your half moon. So you might have that prop there for you. Big breath in. And then twisted chair. I'm always like away from you, so sorry about that. So twisted chair, we're here. We'll pretend I'm facing the front. Maybe we're lifting up, finding that balance. Maybe we're bringing our fingers to the side, shelving for that side crow, or maybe coming into the version where our fingers are facing the same direction as our knees, and then we can lift those legs up, keeping that gaze forward. So we try to keep those chaturanga-like arms. If you want to go upside down, again, using momentum. So as soon as that head lowers, we lift up the seat to lift up into that tripod headstand. So just an option. And we won't go through it when we start to pick up the pace next. So this is just the only time that we're gonna leave a little bit of time to play around should you choose to. That being said, you can always play whenever you want to. Totally promote play. We'll find ourselves in forward fold and we'll start picking up the pace on this one. So let's roll it all the way up. Arms reach up and back. Exhale forward. Inhale, we lengthen. Hands plant, make your way to down dog. From our down dog, right leg lifts. Exhale, we bring it through for active pigeon. Inhale, we lift up. Exhale, forward. Inhale, we lift and lean into the right. Swinging those legs forward for our boat pose. We just go right into that supported side plank, so right leg comes underneath. We shift to the side, finding our version, maybe finding that foot for the back bend. And then we swing that foot all the way to the back, setting up for our reverse warrior. And then we move into our half moon. Inhale. Exhale, feet come together, hands together, and we twist. And then we find that forward fold. Let's roll it up. Arms reach up and back. Exhale, forward. Inhale, we lengthen. Hands plant as we make our way to our down dog. From our down dog, left leg lifts. Exhale, we bring it through for active pigeon. Inhale, fingertips. Exhale, forward. Inhale, lift, and we lean. Making our way to our boat pose, where we tuck the left leg under, supported side plank to the side. Find your version. And then we swing that leg to the front. Swing that leg back. Inhale, reverse. Exhale moves us into our half moon. Big breath in. Exhale, feet come together, and we twist. And then forward fold. You're doing amazing. Let's roll it up. Arms reach up and back. Exhale, forward. Inhale, we lengthen. Hands plant, making our way to our down dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, we bring it through for active pigeon. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, forward. Inhale, lift and lean into the right. Bringing those legs forward for boat pose. Right leg underneath as we come into that supported side plank. Find your version. And then we swing that left leg to the back, right leg to the back as we come into that reverse warrior on the inhale. Exhale's our transition, moving into half moon where we inhale, lift. Exhale, feet come together. Hands come together as we twist into that chair. And then we'll find our forward fold. Let's roll it up. Arms reach up and back. Exhale, forward. Inhale, we lengthen. Hands plant as we step or float, making our way to our down dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, we bring it through for active pigeon. Inhale, fingertips. Exhale, forward. Inhale, lift and lean, moving into your boat pose. Inhale. Exhale, left leg comes underneath, supported side plank. We swing that right leg to the front, left leg back. So we inhale, reverse. Exhale, setting ourselves up for half moon as we inhale, we lift. Exhale, feet come together, and we come into our twisted chair. And then forward fold. How you doing? How's it feeling? You made it through peanut butter. That's a big deal. Once we get to jelly, I feel like we're just ready to go now. Everything just starts to move in a way that it seems so fast. So for jelly, we'll be in mountain pose. If you want to take more of a break than that, feel free to do so. Get a drink of water, towel break, whatever your body needs at this moment. And once we make our way to mountain pose, we'll inhale all I want and need. Exhale comes to me in perfect timing. All I want and need comes to me in perfect timing. Good news, you've done everything for jelly already, so nothing's gonna be new. Left knee draws into chest as arms reach up overhead for our one-legged mountain. And then as we exhale, we step it back, arrow lunge. Try not to grip the mat with those toes, so find your arm variation. And then inhale, we lift up to our exalted, so left arm is up, right arm is down. And then as we exhale, hands come down. Left knee lowers as we come into that one-legged tabletop to those chin stand push-ups where we lift lower for 3, for 2, 1, and then right leg comes behind, coming into those cow face legs. So maybe find a little bit of a wiggle here, maybe hinge forward if you need a little bit more space. And then we're spinning towards the right as we come into Malasana, our yogic squat. So just like the warm-up, option to play around if that feels good to you. Could even come into some little froggy hops, which sometimes have the side effect of a handstand. So clap your feet. Whatever feels right. Maybe it just feels right to hold it here. We'll take a big breath here. Exhale, forward fold. Breath will roll it up. We bring that right knee in with us as we reach the arms up overhead for our one-legged mountain. Exhale, we'll step it back into our arrow lunge. Big breath here. Exhale. Inhale, lift up for our exalted. So right arm is up, left arm down. And then we exhale, cartwheeling those hands down. Right knee lowers as left leg extends. And then we lower and lift for 3, for 2, for 1. And left leg comes behind as we come into those cow face legs. Maybe wiggling a little bit here, coming forward. Inhale. Exhale. And then we'll spin towards the left, coming right into our yogic squat. Option to play or hold, whatever you're feeling. And then we'll pick up the pace on this. So we'll find that forward fold. Inhale, left knee draws in, one-legged mountain. Exhale, step it back into your arrow lunge. Inhale, exalted, left arm comes up. Exhale, cartwheel it down. Right leg extends and we lower and lift for 3, for 2, 1, and then right leg comes behind for our cow face legs, where we spin to the right and we come into our yogic squat, to our forward fold. Yay, we'll roll it up. Right knee comes with us as we inhale, one-legged mountain. Exhale, step it back, arrow lunge. Inhale, exalted, right arm is up. Exhale, cartwheel it down. Back knee lowers, left leg extends, and we lift and lower for 3, for 2, 1, and then left leg comes behind as we make our way into our cow face legs. From here, we spin towards the left, Malasana. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. You're doing amazing. Let's roll it up. Left knee in, one-legged mountain. Exhale, step it back, arrow lunge. Inhale, exalted. Exhale, cartwheel those hands down. Extend the right leg and we lower and lift for 3, for 2, 1, and then the right leg comes behind, cow face legs, and we'll spin towards the right as we come into our yogic squat. And then our forward fold. Almost there, we roll it up. Right knee draws in, one-legged mountain. Exhale, step it back, arrow lunge. Inhale, exalted, right arm is up. Exhale, hands come down. We extend for that left leg, lowering and lifting for 3, for 2, for 1. Left leg comes behind as we sit it back, cow face legs. And then we spin towards the left, finding our way into Namaste, and then our forward fold. All right. Do you know what time it is? It's peanut butter and jelly time. You've made it to the very end of this, so you should be feeling amazing about yourself right now. You don't even need to fix your crown. If your crown is moving around, good, because you're in charge right now. So we are gonna do this one last time, all together. So get a drink of water, towel off, give yourself a pep talk, say a prayer, whatever you need to do. We'll meet in down dog, and you've got this. So once we find our down dog, we'll inhale, all I want and need. Exhale comes to me in perfect timing. All I want and need comes to me in perfect timing. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, we bring it through for active pigeon. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. We lean so that we can bring both legs forward for our boat pose. Inhale. Exhale, right leg comes under, supported side plank to the side of our mat. Find your version here. And then we kick it all the way to the back. Ground down through the back as we inhale, reverse. Exhale, transitioning into our half moon. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, we come into our chair twist. From here, we lift up. Left knee draws into chest, or upward as we come into our one-legged mountain. Exhale, arrow lunge. Inhale, exalted, left arm is up. Exhale, cartwheel it down. Right leg extends as we lower and lift for 3, 2, 1. Right leg comes behind, cow face legs, and then we twist to the right, Malasana, where we'll find our forward fold, making our way to down dog however you like, because the first side is done. Awesome. One more side, left leg lifts. Exhale, we bring it through. Active pigeon as we inhale. Exhale, forward. Inhale, lift, sitting into the side as we come into our boat. And then left leg comes under as we come into our supported side plank. We swing that leg to the back as we come into reverse warrior. Exhale moves us into half moon. And then we bring those feet together in twist chair. I'm finally facing you. From this twisted chair, we bring our right knee with us this time as we come into our one-legged mountain. Exhale, step it back, arrow lunge. Inhale, exalt, right arm up. Exhale, bring it down, right knee lowers. So we extend through the left leg, and we lower and lift for 3, for 2, 1, and then bring that leg behind, more than your foot, as we find those cow-faced legs. And then we spin towards the left as we find our way into Malasana, which means you did it. If you just want to sit on your behind from Malasana, that's perfect. And just take a moment to let that sink in. Slow down the breath, maybe close your eyes. You did amazing. So from this space, if there's anything else that you need that's upright, feel free to do that. Otherwise, make your way into whatever final pose you want. Maybe it is a seated, more meditative pose, or maybe it is reclined like we're coming into Shavasana. Either way, make your way to a final place where you can close your eyes and just let all of the benefits of the practice sink in by being completely still. As you come into this space, have so much gratitude for showing up to your mat today, so much gratitude for all the hard work that you just put in, and gratitude for this feeling that you created through those things. And be proud of yourself because you did amazing, and know that I'm so proud of you. So just allowing your breath to be soft, your body still. Shavasana. As always, stay here as long as you like. But if you're ready, you can always come out of it, where we'll meet in a seated position of choice, bring those hands to heart center in our Anjali Mudra. All I want and need comes to me in perfect timing. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.